A child reminds us that playtime is an essential part of our daily routine. Hello everyone, my name is John Leo Hinakay, and in this video, I'll be discussing the Module 15 entitled Preschoolers' Physical Development. The preschool years is commonly known as the years before formal schooling begins. It roughly covers 3 to 5 years of age. Although it is known as the year before formal school, it is by no way less important than the grade school years. The preschool years is very important as it lays foundation to later development. At this stage, preschoolers achieve many developmental milestones. As such, pre-service teachers who might be interested to teach and care for preschoolers need to be knowledgeable about them to be truly an intentional and effective teacher. Now let's move on to the big ideas about the physical development of preschoolers. Number 1, there are physical changes in physical growth of preschoolers. Number 2, the preschooler's physical development is marked by the acquisition of gross and fine motor skills. Number 3, preschoolers can express themselves artistically at a very early age. Number 4, proper nutrition and the right amount of sleep are very important for the preschoolers. Number 5, caregivers and teachers can do a lot in maximizing the growth and development of preschoolers. And number 6, preschoolers with special needs in inclusive classrooms can thrive well with the appropriate adaptations made in the classroom, materials, and activities. Now let's move on to the significant changes in physical growth. So physical growth increases in the preschool years, although it is much slower in phase than in infancy and toddlerhood. At around 3 years of age, preschoolers move from the remaining body-like features of the toddlers toward a more slender appearance of child. The trunk, arms, and legs become longer. The center of gravity refers to the point at which body weight is evenly distributed. Toddlers have the center of gravity of a high level, about the chest level. This is why they have difficulty doing sudden movements without falling down. Preschoolers, on the other hand, have their center of gravity at a lower level, right about near the belly button. This gives them more ability to be stable and balanced than the toddler. The preschooler moves from the unsteady stance of toddlerhood to a more steady bearing. They no longer toddler that wobbly way that toddlers walk. This allows the preschooler to move more successfully than the toddler. Some say that the later part of the preschooler years, at around 5 or 6, is the best time to begin learning skills that require balance like riding a bike or skating. By the time the child reaches 3 years old, all primary or deciduous, or what are also called baby or milk teeth, are already in place. The permanent teeth, which will begin to come out by the age 6, are also developing. The preschooler years are therefore a time to instill habits of good dental hygiene. Now let's move on to the gross and fine motor development. When we say gross motor development, it refers to acquiring skills that involve the large muscles. These gross motor skills are categorized into 3: locomotor, non-locomotor, and manipulative skills. Locomotor skills are those that involve going from one place to another, like walking, running, climbing, skipping, hopping, creeping, galloping, and dodging. Non-locomotor ones are those where the child stays in place, like bending, stretching, turning, and swaying. Manipulative skills are those that involve projecting and receiving objects like throwing, striking, bouncing, catching, and dribbling. Preschoolers are generally physically active. Level of activity is highest around 3 and becomes a little less as the preschooler gets older. Preschoolers should be provided with a variety of appropriate activities which will allow them to use their large muscles. Regular physical activity helps preschoolers build and maintain healthy bones, muscles, joints, control weight, and build lean muscles, prevent or delay hypertension, reduce feelings of depression and anxiety, and increase capacity for learning. Fine motor development. Fine motor development refers to acquiring the ability to use the smaller muscles in the arms, hands, and fingers purposefully. Some of the skills included here are picking, squeezing, pounding, and opening things, holding and using writing implement. It also involves self-help skills like using the spoon and fork when eating, buttoning, zipping, combining, and brushing. Now let's proceed to the preschooler's artistic development. At the heart of the preschooler years is their interest to draw and make other forms of artistic expressions. This form of motor activity is relevant to preschoolers. Victor Lowenfield studied this and came up with the stages of drawing and early childhood. Stage 1. The scribbling stage. This stage begins with large, zigzag lines which later become circular markings. Soon, discrete shapes are drawn. The child may start to name his or her growing towards the end of this stage. Stage 2. Preschematic stage. May already include early representations. This also becomes very significant when we discuss about cognitive development. At this point, adults may be able to recognize the drawings. Children at this stage tend to give the same names of their drawings several times. Drawings usually comprise of a prominent head with basic elements. Later, arms, legs, and even facial features are included. Stage 3. Schematic stage. More elaborate scenes are depicted. Children usually draw from experience and exposure. Drawings may include houses, trees, the sun and sky, and people. Initially, they may appear floating in air, but eventually, drawings appear to follow a ground line.